Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Women Like Me Stories in Business. I am your host, Julie Fairhurst, and I'm very excited today. We are going to learn some really interesting, cool things. I am here today with Lisa Fairney, and she's just got all sorts of really interesting stuff she's going to tell us. So I'm not going to dive into it yet, but let's welcome Lisa. And Lisa, would you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm a 63-year-old. I have six children, five girls and a boy. I have eight grandchildren so far. And I've always been involved in something to do with helping people, whether it be dental assisting. I was a certified dental assistant. I did teacher aid for a number of years. And now I'm doing the low-level light therapy for people
Ah,
who are suffering with pain and inflammation.
and that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yes.
I am like, I looked it up a bit, did a little research so that I wasn't completely blind to it all when we were talking, but low level light therapy. Now, what exactly is that?
So it's LEDs, and it's red light and near infrared. And what happens is the mitochondria absorb the light, and it stimulates the mitochondria to produce more ATP, which is what the fuel that our body uses for healing. As we get older, we produce less and less of that. So that's why it takes us, as we get older, it takes us longer to heal when we hurt ourselves. So yeah, the ATP is crucial. And also it releases nitric oxide, which is a vasodilator, and it increases circulation.
Oh, so I don't know what A is it APT? Is that what you said?
ATP,
I
and
don't know.
adenosine triphosphate. It's a mouthful.
Ah, it certainly is. It certainly is.
But
Okay.
it's the fuel that our body uses for healing. So it
Oh.
it makes it stimulate the mitochondria to produce more of it. So your healing is sped up by about 45%.
Holy cow, that's a lot. You know, I have a girlfriend that is in her late 60s, and it takes her a long time. Like she gets a scratch from her cat, excuse me. It takes her a long I'm shocked at how long it takes her to heal. So this is what happens to us. This is
Yes.
what we have to look forward to.
Yeah.
Ah, got it. So how does it work? So can you tell us a little bit about the science of it?
Um, I actually have a link that I'm going to share with you,
Okay.
and it's very scientific, and it takes you through exactly what happens inside the body when the lights are on you, and the lights continue to work for 48 to 72 hours after they're taken off of you.
Oh,
So that's why I have clients come in twice a week, because that divides the week in half, and they stay on a healing zone rather than going up and down. Um, the science part of it is very, very complicated.
okay. You're going to give us a link, and then I will put the link in the details section. So everybody, if you are listening or watching, go to the details section because I'm going to have that link there that Lisa's going to send me. And that link is going to explain all of the sort of the science of how it works.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, well we'll just go to the video for the complicated answer.
Okay.
Okay. So, but you were saying that that the effects of it will last 24 to 48 hours?
48 to 72
Oh,
hours.
that's actually quite a long time.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It continues to increase your circulation, and continues to produce more ATP. And
Okay.
yeah, it's quite miraculous, actually.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So the benefits. Now, I was snooping around looking, and I know there's lots of medical conditions that it helps, and we can talk about that. And wound therapy, I read, of course, and you just mentioned that. But I also saw something weight loss. Does it actually help weight loss?
Yes, it what it does is it works with the lymph nodes. So if you have congested lymph nodes, quite often you put on extra weight. And most people have congested lymph nodes because they don't have their own little pump like the heart does. So
Ah,
unless you're a very active physical person, um, your lymph nodes get congested. And as we get older, it's more likely that they're congested.
uh-huh.
Um, yeah, so what happens is it helps release the lymph fluid from your
Yeah.
lymph nodes, and then the lymph nodes are better able to process your body fluids. So the lymph nodes and the fat cells, yeah, the fluid actually becomes more fluid, like more, less sticky,
Ah.
and so it releases the fat. So yeah, we do body contouring.
Okay, all right. I'm so glad that I asked that question. Yeah, when I saw that when I was researching it the other day, I thought, weight loss. I wrote it down. I have to make sure I ask her about that for sure. And but then it said like lots of different medical conditions. Do you want to run us through a few of those?
Okay, so we have a light cap that I put on clients' heads. So it can help anything from hair growth to Parkinson's, dementia, concussion, depression, anxiety, um, difficulty with sleeping, all of those sorts of things. And then I have body pads that I put on different areas of the body. So I can do shoulders, elbows, knees, hips.
Ah,
So if you've got arthritis or bursitis or an injury, the low level light therapy helps all of those things.
wow.
Oh,
And
and neuropathy too. I have boots that I put on people's feet. Neuropathy is huge. Like we can totally reverse the effects of neuropathy.
wow.
Yeah.
Can so, and you say wound therapy as well. So, and I guess we kind of discussed that a little bit already in the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um, People who have diabetic neuropathy, quite often their circulation is so poor that they have to be careful if they get a little
Oh,
cut or a little blister or something on their foot because they don't feel it. And
right.
then because there's no circulation, it doesn't heal. It turns into an ulcer and then ends up getting really big. And that's how they end up having to have toes or their
Oh,
feet amputated. So
right.
the low level light therapy actually brings the circulation back and it heals wounds and prevents them from happening.
Wow. Can you tell us, what about us? Tell us one of your success stories. I'd love to hear that.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
I tell you the story of Joe's leg.
Okay.
Joe was my daughter's friend, and he had fallen off of a piece of heavy equipment, and he broke his ankle,
Hmm.
and he had neuropathy already, so it wasn't healing, and the leg was just getting worse and worse, and it started to turn color. And my daughter phoned me and said, "Mom, do you think you could go to Joe's place with your lights and see that if they help him?" So I did, and I went to his house several times a week for a couple of weeks. And sure enough, his leg, the circulation started to come back. He had been scheduled for amputation, and
Wow.
he invited me to go with him to his surgeon because he was going to the surgeon to get his date for amputation. And I walked in with him, and he took one look at Joe's leg and said, "That leg doesn't need amputation. That's a healthy leg." And he said, "Meet Lisa and her lights." And
That's amazing.
so the surgeon said he couldn't really make too many comments on it, but he said, "Carry on with what you're doing. You don't need amputation now."
Wow. But
Yeah.
I mean, and that makes sense, of course, because if my grandfather had to have a leg amputated, and my uncle, um, yeah, he had a lot of circulation problems, and his foot was turning black. Um,
Hmm.
so that's what it does. I mean, if you can get in there and get that circulation going, obviously anything that's not circulate, it doesn't have any blood circulation is going to die.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And that's what people with diabetes have to worry about, is that they slowly start amputating pieces of them as the neuropathy gets worse and worse.
Wow. And so how does it, so I know we're going to watch a video. I know there's a video for us to watch, but I'm just curious, is it like like does it heat up? Is it a warmth when you're lying there under the light? Is it a warm light that heats up the body or
It's a very pleasant experience. It's like having heating pads on you.
okay.
And you just lay there and relax. And my treatment room has nice, soft music playing and low light. And quite often I'll have the essential oils going as well. And you just, all you experience is the warmth of the lights, but they
Mm.
make you very, very relaxed. Most of my clients fall asleep while they're having their half-hour session. And they always are shocked when I come in and they say, "It's over already?"
Oh.
And I said, "You fell asleep." Yeah. I've
Wow.
had clients say to me, "No, not yet. Go away. I
Yeah.
want more."
Yeah, I
Yeah.
bet I could see myself doing that. Oh, so well, that's great. So it's nothing to fear. It's just a really relaxing,
Yeah.
meditative state, probably while you're laying there. And
Yes. And they'll
yeah,
have you in a recliner, in a really
wow.
comfortable recliner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are there any side effects?
No, no, it's completely safe, FDA approved.
Oh,
Um, Yeah. And I sell the systems. So I've got over 40 people in Chilliwack now have bought low level light therapy systems from me.
oh, wow. So
Yeah.
they can do it at home.
Yes. And the
Yeah.
company's name is Inlight, is um,
Ah.
the company that makes the devices. They're class 2 medical devices. And they are, you're allowed to sell them to people privately.
So are those, do you know, do they have them in hospitals? Do you know, do they use them or is it just
No,
not really? No.
doctors and Western medicine does not
Ah,
recognize it. They are used by the professional sports teams, though. That's how they get their
ah,
men back on the field and back on the ice as quickly as they do, because it speeds the healing so fast.
oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Ah, interesting. Wow, that is so interesting. So, and so one of my questions was going to be what can a client expect? But I guess we kind of answered that about about the when they come in for a treatment. But how long? So with Joe, for example, having he was going to have his leg amputated. How long did it? How many? Like I know you said you went to his home quite often. How many treatments do you remember how many treatments he needed before
On
you?
his sixth treatment, he called me. He was supposed to go home and drink lots of water.
Yeah.
On his sixth session, he went straight to the pub.
Okay.
And then within not even an hour, he called me and said, "My foot is swelling up." And I said, "That's good." I said, "Can you elevate it and drink lots of water?" And he said, "Yeah, I can elevate it." And he took a picture of his foot and sent it to me so that I could see what it looked like. And I said, "You're at the pub. You're not at home." And he says, "Yeah," he says, "but," he says, "I'm really excited. My foot is pink in color and it's swollen
Oh,
up." And so it started the healing process.
wow. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That is an amazing story. Another thing that I read about that I wanted to ask you about is hair loss. And you had mentioned that there's a cap.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a head light cap,
Okay.
and it stimulates the hair follicles to to grow new hair.
It is like a little miracle thing, isn't
It,
it?
it is, and it's being kept quiet because of the pharmaceuticals and the government and all of the red tape. Nobody wants this let out, and I want to educate people and make sure people know about it
But
because
but
there is help.
but if the FDA has approved it,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, they've approved it as a class 2 medical device.
yes, wow,
But
yes,
you would think, like I'm looking at getting a hold of ICBC and WCB because I could
ah,
be helping those people
of
get
course,
them get them back to
yeah.
work. And
You also it says that you help with skin conditions.
yes, so acne, rosacea, um,
Oh,
pigment problems. Like as you get older, you get sunspots.
yes,
So the lights help with all of that. They're anti-aging and they build collagen and elastin.
wow. And so typically a treatment is 30 minutes?
Yes,
Yeah.
30
And
minutes.
do you ever go more?
I do 1 hour sessions because I've got a few clients who insist that they want longer sessions. So I do 1 hour sessions
Yeah,
as well.
but people typically are just doing 30 minutes.
Yeah, because of cost.
Right.
They don't want to have each session cost too much.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so who would your ideal candidate be?
Hmm. Someone with neuropathy. I really like treating people with neuropathy because the results happen within the first couple of sessions and
Wow.
they can feel the difference. Um, they get very excited and it's very rewarding for me to have them, excited and saying it's working.
Yeah.
And because they're very skeptical when they first come in,
Right. Yeah.
because they've been told by doctors there is no hope for neuropathy. Like there is nothing except put them on gabapentin or another medication for neuropathy.
Wow.
But there is help.
Yeah.
And I would like to be able to educate the doctors, but I don't think they're interested.
Right. Right. But you are in a doctor's office. You work out of a naturopathic's office, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But naturopaths are different than the mainstream doctors.
Right.
They
Right.
work on what is causing the problem. They treat the problem that's happened. They don't
Yes.
mask it with medication. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's a different field completely.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. So how do you think that like what do you think is going to happen in the future with this low
Well,
level?
it's
Yeah?
becoming well known.
Ah,
They're I've started noticing it online a lot more. There's been all kinds of scientific research papers done. Some of them are from pubmed.com. Um, there's so much news about it coming out, but it's still fairly new. Like the general public doesn't
yeah.
know yet.
Yeah. And so would it be similar to like I know that a lot of people get depression throughout the winter and that type of thing and I've never used it myself, but I've heard that they do the light therapy. Is this similar? Is this the same thing or is it
It's
similar
it's
or?
it's not the same thing
Hmm.
as that light therapy, but I do treat seasonal depression disorder.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
have a light mask that goes across the face, and yeah.
Wow. Wow. So my husband, he's had a sore neck for quite a while. And he doesn't know what he did. He pulled something and it kind of radiates down the shoulders and up into here. So if he came into you, what would you suggest for him?
I would do the light therapy over his shoulders
Yeah.
and around his neck,
Okay.
and he would be put on setting 2 and setting 6. Setting 2 reduces inflammation, and setting 6 increases circulation. So I
Uh,
have different settings on my equipment as well.
okay. Oh, so depending on the level of pain someone comes in with, or
Yes.
okay,
Yeah, they come in and they've got a fair amount of pain. I suggest that they come twice a week
yeah,
to keep them on that healing plane.
yeah.
Um, and then what we do is we work back and back them off to maybe once a week, once every 10 days, once every 2 weeks. And then quite often people just stop coming because it's worked.
And is there anybody that shouldn't come?
I'm not supposed to put the light pads on directly on a pregnant woman's
Ah,
uterus. And that's because they don't know enough about it yet. It's not because they know it can harm them.
right.
It's that they haven't done enough studies on it yet.
On
And I'm
pregnancy.
also not allowed to put the light pads on active cancer.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Again, for the same reason, just not enough
Because
study done yet.
yeah, because the lights make cells grow. And so there's a bit of a
Ah,
fear that it might make cancer cells grow.
makes sense. That makes sense. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Okay. Is there anything else that's a concern?
No.
Just those two types of, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, definitely, yeah, I was thinking of pregnancy because I've got our daughter right now is a week and a bit. She should have gone into labor way before now, and she's still
Oh,
not. So she's overdue. And as you're talking, I'm like, I wonder if she could just go get light therapy and burst into labor, and away she goes. But it sounds like not.
well, at the end of pregnancy, I would think it would be pretty safe because
Ah,
I think it's more when the fetus is first growing.
developing.
Yeah.
Right, right, right. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
so interesting. So I don't think you told us how you got into it. How did you get interested in this?
So I had a friend who did light therapy,
Hmm.
and she offered to come over one day and do it on my neck because I have 3 herniated discs from a motor vehicle accident.
Ooh,
And so she came over and did it on me, and I didn't really notice too much on the first session, but did a lot of research after that, after meeting with her and trying it out. And I was on a lot of medication for my herniated discs, and so I needed to come off that medication. So I ordered myself one 2-port controller and one body pad, and I started treating my neck. And within a couple of weeks, I was weaning off all my medication.
that's insane.
Yeah, and then I said to myself, well, I don't need to be on disability anymore with my neck being a problem because it's not a problem anymore. And I need people to know about this. And so I
Yes.
started trying it out on my husband and on my kids and different friends, and then of course Joe's leg happened, and I was like amazed. And then I said, I that's it. I'm going to become a certified light therapist. So I took the course, and then Dr. Balkan found me, and the rest is history.
Wow. Wow, that is so interesting. It's I've spoken to quite a few ladies lately, doing some podcasts and where they're, talking about just different types of technology that is out there that is
Mm-hmm.
helping people these days. I'm quite shocked actually. And it's exciting. It's super exciting, but I'm shocked at how much it's just, I guess, technology is just moving at a faster pace these days.
Yeah.
And so many of the things are, things that have been around for a while that are sort of just coming back into light, but with new technology advances.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. NASA actually developed this.
Oh.
And the way they found out they had lights with their astronauts, and they were growing different things, and they had lights on the plants. and one of the astronauts cut his hand, and he was working with the lights, with the plants a lot, and his wound healed super fast, and that's how they first discovered that that light therapy worked.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So does it work like is it I know there's a video, but but a thought popped in my head. Vitamin D. So
No, you don't
no.
get vitamin D from these lights. You need ultraviolet light for vitamin D,
Okay.
and we don't have any of the dangerous rays in our lights.
Okay. 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 Wow, Lisa, so interesting. I appreciate you so much being willing to come on and share your knowledge and your wisdom with us. And yeah, I'm blown away. I have to come for a treatment.
Yes,
I need to,
your first one is complimentary, so come
yes.
on in. Anyone
Oh,
can have a complimentary treatment.
okay. People who are listening. And if you live in British Columbia, the lower mainland area where Lisa and I live, she's going to offer you a complimentary treatment. So all of her information is going to be in the details section, as well as that little video to educate you a little bit more on the complexities of how it all works. But she's also offering a free treatment. So, oh my goodness. Oh, you're going to get bombarded.
Uh,
You're going to be working day and night.
that's good.
Yeah, it's
I,
good.
I want
Yeah.
people to know that there's help other than medication out there.
Yes, for sure. For sure. Well, Lisa, we're going to close. Is there anything further that you would like to share with the audience? Anything at all that you want to mention that maybe we didn't cover or?
I don't think so, but I would like to thank you very much for having me.
Oh, you're
I really
welcome.
appreciate it.
Oh, you're very welcome, and I'm just so thankful that you were willing to do it, and offering these free treatments. I'm totally going to take advantage of that. So, well, Lisa, thank you so much. Everybody who's watching on YouTube or listening on the podcast, we appreciate you so much for being here. We would love it if you would give us a subscribe. That would be excellent, and we would appreciate that. And don't forget to check out the details. You can watch the video. There's going to be information about how you can reach out to Lisa and how you can get your complimentary first treatment from her, and at least try it out. So thanks again for being here, Lisa. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. You're so welcome, and we'll talk soon.
Okay.
Okay.